In this video, I'm gonna show you how I use Screaming Frog for influencer marketing. So for this tutorial, you have to install Screaming Frog, the SEO spider, and you need the premium version. Then you need the Chrome extension Link Lamp and the Chrome extension Infinity Scroll for Google. Once you have all the software and add-ons installed, then you can go to the step one. So first of all, I want to find relevant influencer for my influencer marketing campaigns. How I do it? You have two options. The first one, you can use Google, and as you can see here, I'm using some enter the Google search results. So the first one is the command site. In this tutorial, I'm gonna talk about Instagram for now on Instagram. So that's why I'm using the command site Instagram.com. So I just want to see search results from Instagram.com. And I only want to see pages where it's written the word fashion blogger and the word Milan. And I don't want picture pages. I only want profile, and then as you can see here, there are only profile pages and not pictures. That's one way to find a relevant influencer for your business. The second way is to basically analyze your competitors. Let's say that we are a cosmetic. So what I would do, I would go on the Hello Body profile, go to the tagged picture section, and here you can see all the picture where Hello Body has been tagged. So once you find your competitors and you find the right query to find good profile, then you have to set up Link Lamp. So you install Link Lamp, then you will see the icon on the top right. You go to option, you load the option, and then you go to copy it to clipboard, edit, and here you change copy format and you want URLs only. Copy it to clipboard and you save. Then you go back to the Chrome store and you install the Infinity Scroll for Google, which means that when you go on Google, you don't have any more the 10 results and then the pagination, but you have an infinite scroll, so you can just scroll all the way down. Now you can use Link Lamp to copy all these URL. That's one option. Otherwise, you should develop a script in Python, R, or PHP that scrolls and copy all the different URLs. But this tutorial is for non-developer, so that's why we are using Link Lamp. Now you have to press Shift Z, and you will see that when you select, then you see some red squares. You select everything, all the URLs that are interesting for you, and then everything has been copied in your clipboard. And the same goes for Instagram. So again, Shift Z, and then you select all the picture you want. Let's say like this. And now we go to Excel, and then you will see that everything has been copied. Now you paste, and here you have all your URLs. So for example, let's copy these 3 URLs. So now let's go to the second step. So from the URL, then we have to create or collect the username of the user that posts the picture. And to do that, you can use Screaming Frog. You open Screaming Frog, then you go to Mode, List, then Upload, enter manually. You paste the list of URL, then you press Next. Automatically, Screaming Frog will delete all the duplicates. then OK, and then you start the crawler. Now all the 3 URLs has been crawled. You export everything in Excel. For example, we call it username, and you save it. Okay. Now you open that Excel, and then you have multiple columns, and the columns you need, it's the meta description one, because as you can see here, there is always the username of the profile that posted the picture, and we need the usernames. So we delete all the other columns. Now we have to extract the username from the cell. There are 2 options. Either you use some function, or you use data, text to column, the next, delimited, next, and you use the first time at as a separator, finish, and now you can delete the first column, and then here again text to column, next, and then here the closing bracket. Okay, and as you can see here, whoa, something went wrong. No. Okay, as you can see here, we have the 3 username. So now what we have to do, we want to scrape from Instagram how many posts, how many followers they have, how many following, and the bio. Why the bio? Because many times the influencer are showing their email in the bio, and we want to use that email to contact them. So to do that, there are 2 options. Either you scrape directly Instagram, but if you're using Screaming Frog, it's not recommended because after 10-20 requests, Instagram will ban your IP address. So that's why my recommendation is to use a website like webster.org. Basically, those websites are copy of Instagram, and they have been built using the Instagram API. It's exactly the same information. All the information you have on Instagram are also on those websites, but those websites are not blocking your IP address. As you can see, that's my profile page, and the URL structure is always the same. https www.webster.org/username. So now what we have to do, we go to Excel, we concatenate the 2 information. So Webster and the username. And that's the URL of our username. Now we're gonna scrape all the information from this page. How to do it? For example, we want to scrape how many posts, then I select the amount of posts, right click, inspect. Yeah, Chrome is loading the developers console, and the 351 is highlighted. Right click, copy selector. So I copy the CSS selector. Now I go back to Screaming Frog, configuration, custom, extraction, CSS path. I paste the selector. I can change the name here, for example, to post. Then CSS again. Then I go back. For example, I also want the followers. Then I select here the followers, right click, copy, and I copy the selector. Go back to Screaming Frog. I paste, and then here the followers. And I can do that for the following as well. Then okay, I copy my URL, upload, enter manually. I can paste the URL. Next, they will again delete the duplicate. Okay, then I start. Now the website is, Screaming Frog is crawling the website, so webstar.org and not Instagram. Resume. Of course, this tutorial has been made with 3 profiles, but imagine that you can do that with thousands and thousands of URLs. Now you export everything, and you can call it like profiles data. You save it, and then when you open it, then you will have all the information you scraped. If we go to the right, you will see that there are 2 columns here, one called post with the amount of posts, how many followers, and another important thing, what you can do, you can also extract the email address from the bio. And to do that, you can use one of the columns. So let me check. Here you see in the column meta description, they have exactly all the information of the bio. So the information is here. So I basically only need 3 columns, or actually 4. So I can keep the URL of the profile, I keep the meta description one, and of course the information I directly scraped from the page. Okay. As you can see, not all the profile contains the email in the bio, but for example, ACOS management, they have the email in the bio. So what we can do, either you manually copy and paste the email address in another column, or use a function. For example, I usually paste all this data in the Google Sheets, and I have a formula. And when I go to regex, I basically use a regex formula. I paste here on my bio, and you see, automatically this regex extracts the email address from here, from the bio. And then automatically I have a list of all the email addresses. And that's it for this tutorial. Maybe one additional thing that you could use is you can also add engagement rate. And to do that, you can scrape another website that is calculating engagement rate for you. You just Google Instagram calculator. So engagement rate, Instagram calculator. This one, flanks. Then what you can do, you can just type like a username, like my username, and then you can see the engagement rate. As you can see here, the engagement dash calculator question mark insta equal username. So what we can do exactly the same we did before. So we just go back to our Excel file, not this one, the other one, with the username, for example. So for example, let's paste here. What you can do, you can basically delete this, and then you will have again your list of username. Let's take this one as an example. Then you concatenate the two things. You copy. Then you go here. Of course, you have to change the scraper settings. So in this case, I already know that the information, so my engagement rate is here, and the element is an H4, so an headline 4 in HTML. So I won't use CSS selector, but in this case I know by heart that is XPath and it's H4. And then here I have engagement rate. Okay, plot, enter manually, next. Okay, you start again. Then you will see that the information not always work, I have to admit, because sometimes the website is really slow. For example, in this case, it didn't work. Let's try again with a different profile. So for example, like my profile, 4.7% I have. So enter manually, you paste, next. Okay, start, and resume. Go all the way to the right. Let's see. Yeah, here it is, 4.71%. Then what you can do if you want to merge the two datasets, that's quite easy. You can join the two datasets with the VLOOKUP function. So let's call engagement rate. I save it. I have here. Then what I will do, basically, I will take my engagement rate column here. I can copy this information, go to the other Excel file, profile data. I can paste everything in a new tab. Then I will delete everything apart from the username. Oh, sorry. So here I just keep my username. Then let's assume for now that this profile is my profile. So Ruben Vetzoli. Boom. Then you use VLOOKUP. You select this. And then you basically set up the whole VLOOKUP function. And then the value is in the column 2, 0. And here I have. So basically I can join the two datasets in one Excel file. And that's really cool tutorial because you can easily have all the information you need in one Excel file, and then you can just provide to your influencer marketing team, and then they can just go through the whole list, and they already have relevant profiles because you're only basing your database on the competitors. And of course, I can recommend to scrape competitors that you know they're already doing influencer marketing and they're quite good in that channel. Or you can already scrape information from Instagram, for example. If you have a local business and then you want to scrape information or profile of local people, then you can easily use a city like Milan or Berlin, and then you can scrape all the information. Thank you for this.